Windows Server 2019 System Administration. Welcome back everybody. I am Prakash Pradhan, your trainer for this entire series. So in a previous video, we have gone through the process of installing the Dhcp server in day 2 part 1 video. Now in this today's topic, we are going to configure completely and see the practical implementation of Server 2019 Standard Edition Dhcp Failover. Now today we are going to see the two things over here about the load balancing, that means the failover. I intend to say the failover. Now over here there are two modes in a failover. Number one is load balancing and number two is standby mode. That means in a load balancing mode, as discussed earlier, two partner servers are going to balance the load. That means two partners will be active at the same time and the distribution of IP will be done in 50-50 ratio. Whereas if we select for during the configuration of Dhcp failover, the mode standby mode, in that case only one of the partner will be active. That means the active partner will be able to distribute the 95% of the scope that is being created by the administrator, and the next partner server will be standby. That means it will not be able to distribute the IP until and unless the first, your primary Dhcp server, who is the main partner who is distributing the 95% of IP is on, the second will be standby only. Okay, so without wasting your precious time, let's move to the steps how to configure the Dhcp server failover. Now, in order to create the Dhcp server failover, if I remember, I have already discussed in our previous video that the additional server we are going to install a Dhcp failover, there must be Dhcp role installed. So over here, I have already installed the Dhcp server role. See here, but only the Dhcp server role is being installed. Rest of the things are not set yet. See, there is nothing, there is no scope, no configuration, nothing. Now entire thing will be done from the main primary server, from where you are going to assign the second partner as a Dhcp failover server. Okay, now in that case, in order to create your secondary or failover server, you need to select the right click your IP version 4. Since we are doing this in IP version 4, there is no provision for IP version 6 in this failover. Now configure failover of IP version 4. After that, it shows this available scopes. If you remember, over here we have created only one scope last time. See, this is the address pool. Only one scope is there. So that is why it's making a list of only one scope. If you have created a multiple scope, so there will be multiple scopes. So whichever scope you are interested to replicate to your partner server, you can select all of this. So right now we are having only one. I don't think there is any point of argument or discussion to talk about the other scope because we are having only one. So I take it for granted. Then this is the main screen actually that is going to ask you to point me to that server who is going to be my partner. So I'm going to browse it to my second partner where only Dhcp role is installed and the configuration is not done yet. So this is my PC. So if you are wondering how am I able to browse this PC, don't forget in our first or second video we have already learned the process of promoting Windows Server 2019 Standard Edition into the domain controller. Okay, since the domain controller is already installed in our network environment, it will allow you to browse via the network. So it's done. Okay. Now it will add this PC in the list also as your partner server, but not authorized yet. We need to authorize as well. See, next. Now it is asking you, this screen is quite important. This is the relationship name. This is the name of relationship. That means these two PCs are going to work as a partner, failover partner. This is the maximum client lead time. So maximum client lead time by default it is 1 hour. If you wish, you can give over here 1 minute also. It is up to you. Now over here, as we have discussed last time, we are talking about the failover mode in your balancing mode, network load balancing mode. In a network load balancing mode, the local server and the partner server will be distributing 50-50. This is a setting done by Microsoft itself. Now if you happen to choose the next mode, that is a standby, so the things will get seen. See, over here it is saying that address reserved for standby server is 5%. I told you that your partner server will be able to distribute only 5% of IP and the main server or the local server will be able to distribute the 95% of the IP from your scope. By clicking this one or this option, it will not take you to the next level. See, there is no next. Why? Remember, I told you by default Microsoft has not selected the option the state switchover interval. That means when the primary server, that means when the local server of DHCP goes down, who is going to act as your local server, or who is going to work on behalf of local server in the form of partner server so that they can distribute the IP. So in that case, you need to select this state switchover interval. And it is also asking you to enter the secret key. Of course, it's good for your secret communication. This is about your security. Now go to next. If you forget to select this one, switchover interval, trust me guys, your DHCP failover will not work. Okay, this is the switchover interval. In the 1 minute of switchover interval, the second, that means the partner server will start distributing the IP. Next, done. See, it's updating all. Close. Now, if you remember, in our partner DHCP server, the configuration was not done. If I refresh it, you see the scope has come over here. That means it has replicated successfully and it is been added to the list of your failover server, DHCP failover server. But what about this red? That means the server is still down. Why? One more thing is to be done in a primary or the local server. Okay, you need to authorize that server. That means this is my local server. Who is going to be an authorized server? That means my partner server who is going to work as a failover partner. Okay, so for that, manage authorized servers. Okay, and then authorize. It will ask you the IP of that computer whom you are going to authorize. That's my local, that means partner server. 192.168.1.20 is the IP of that my partner server. Okay, then only your partner server will be able to distribute the IP and that will be activated. Now it's contacting. See, this is the name of that computer whose IP is this and who's going to be my partner server. Local server means myself, the primary DHCP server, and the partner server is the second server. Okay, close. Now if I go to my partner server over here in order to check whether it is being configured as a failover or not, if I refresh it, you see it's down, state is down. When I refresh it, now it's showing it is not in a down state. Okay, activate because that was not activated. Now the scope is activated, the entire copy is done over here. So this way, if my primary DHCP server goes down, if my local DHCP server goes down, now my partner server will take over and will start distributing an IP to the client, whoever comes on discovering the DHCP server. Okay, so this was so easy going step. I hope this process of configuring DHCP failover server was easy, quite clear to you all, and it was quite fruitful to you. Do not forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.